All right. Hello, everyone. I am Anthony Caliber, and this is The Last of Us. Let's get started right away. New game on. So, unfortunately, not as you know, this game I think is incredible, but as a speed run, gets off to a bit of a slow start. So let's talk about the story here. This is the night of an outbreak, zombie apocalypse game, but it's not zombies. It's called cordyceps, which is a real life thing actually, but it just doesn't affect humans. In real life, it affects like ants and bugs in South America and stuff. So this game is basically if that fungus actually affects humans. And they do a pretty good job at the realism of it. Just got to make our way down here. There's going to be a long car ride. We don't have any control of the character. So I'll talk more about Grounded, what makes it the hardest difficulty, besides it just being the hardest difficulty. All right, this is Sarah, and that's all we play as her. We're done. Next time we play, and almost the whole game, we're going to play as him. That's Joel. Sarah's his daughter. Okay. Now, Grounded. Like I said, hardest of 5 difficulties. What should I mention first? Let's talk about like damage. Well, first of all, there's a heads-up display on the bottom right for the other difficulties: easy, normal, hard, and survivor. On Grounded, it's just not there. Everyone, say hi to Jimmy.
Jimmy, I am warning you. No.
Ooh, bye, Jimmy. That's a shame. But yeah, that's what happens when you fall victim to the cordyceps. You turn into a runner, then after a certain amount of time, you turn into a stalker, then a clicker, and then a bloater. But that's for later. So Grounded. In terms of damage dealt by enemies, the Wikipedia says like 3 times the damage they normally do compared to the normal difficulty. But if you have full health, it's like 5 swipes from a runner, or 3 pistol bullets, 2 revolver bullets, a rifle bullet will leave you with like that much health. And yeah, you don't want to take damage. You also can't see how much health you have left because the heads-up display is disabled. Now, in terms of damage given to enemies, on easy, normal, hard, and survivor, a pistol on a human enemy will down in 3 shots, a revolver in 2 shots, and a rifle in 2 shots as well. But on Grounded, they actually help you out a little bit. You can kill an enemy with 1 rifle bullet or 1 revolver bullet or 2 pistol bullets. So they actually help you to compensate for the increased difficulty. And there's also like parts and supplements that we're going to be picking up throughout the run that will upgrade Joel's weapon sway and Joel's weapons. Now all we're going to upgrade is a right holster later on in the run and weapon sway. We're not going to upgrade his health at all. Because if a run goes perfectly, we don't take any damage. But marathon environment, we'll see. What else? Throughout the run, we'll be picking up some crafting ingredients for bombs. The things you can craft are a modded melee weapon, a shiv, Molotov, med kit, smoke bomb, and nail bomb. Probably forgot one or mentioned one twice, I forget. But yeah, we pick up blades, binding, rags, alcohol, explosives, sugar. And we'll have just enough to maximize the potential of those bombs. Because the way this difficulty works is, you could use a bomb in a place that would be convenient, but if you don't have a bomb for a certain section, there's really no fast way to do it at all. So you want to use them there and then find a better way to do other areas without bombs, even though it would be convenient. Now, ammo dropped. On Grounded, Enemies will only drop ammo below a certain number, like a certain threshold. For pistol ammo, enemies will only drop if you have 3 or less. With the revolver and the shotgun, it's 2 or less. With the rifle, I think you need to be at 0. But yeah, just something to keep track of. And certain enemies will only drop certain types of ammo.
You can't stop here, Tommy. I can't fucking drive through them. Go back out there. They're behind me too. There.
And like I said, what's going on? Apocalypse. Notice how there's nothing over there? I don't know where that car was going. All right, finally, some gameplay. We're going to be running through this town, just trying to get away. Now, Tommy, our brother, he's going to push us. Now, Tommy has the same running route every time, but what is random are the other NPCs. They are random every single time. If they can get in your way and block you, they will. They're programmed to kind of like slow down when you're in front of them and then run faster when you're ahead of them. Tommy moves the same though, so we want him to push us forward. Because it can make a difference of like 5 or 6 seconds. Like I said, this is the kind of stuff I got to talk about because the run, it does get off to a slow start, but once we get to like maybe around the half-hour mark, there are more strats than I can keep up with explaining.
We're gonna need to run.
All right, let's see what kind of intro we get.
Keep us safe. Come on, baby. Hold on tight.
That's not good. All right, Tommy's ahead of us.
Watch out! Keep your eyes closed, honey.
Yeah, they can also just fuse right through you and then block you. It's annoying. Also, if that runner hops out of that window in front of you, Tommy will slow down to look at it. So that wasn't good. These people are sober, by the way. They just keep falling over. There goes another one. There's the Tommy push I was talking about. Okay, also on Grounded, QTE prompts are disabled, so you need to like memorize which buttons to hit. I do not recommend Grounded on a first playthrough.
He's dead. God damn it. We're almost there, baby.
All right, now right there, I had to keep the camera on Tommy, otherwise he would have just slowed down.
Find a way out of here. Come on. Joel!
Because sometimes he can get so far behind you, he can actually despawn, which did happen once.
Get to the highway.
Ooh, I can see myself on the screen.
Oh, you got
Cool.
Sarah. I can follow. I will meet you there. Hurry.
Okay, so we're going to skip all the cutscenes, obviously, but we're also going to do some restart encounters. Now, restart encounters do different things throughout this run. Sometimes they place us further, sometimes they place companions further, other times it resets some like enemy AI patterns so they're more favorable. And in certain instances, it actually gives us some supplies back, but I'll talk about that later. So here's the first instance of a restart encounter. Restart encounter right there, and it skips the camera panning down to Joel leaving this building. Okay. This isn't Sarah anymore. This is Tess. The whole game takes place 20 years after that night. Sarah died. Wah. Sorry. I've played this like 9,000 times. All right, let's see. This is like the first, like the next maybe 6 or 7 minutes is going to be walking simulator. Then there's a fight, and then another like 4 or 5 minutes of walking simulator. Let's see. Joel and Tess are smugglers. This takes place right now in Boston in a quarantine zone. And they're smugglers. They smuggle things in and out of the city. Drugs, guns, weapons, whatever. And right now they're going to find a man, Robert. I haven't played this game for its story in a long time, so you got to bear with me here. They're going to find a man, Robert, who sent some people to kill Joel and Tess. They're going to have a little chat with him. There's also another faction called the Fireflies, who are like a resistance group who want to restore the world to its former glory, yada, yada, yada. They're the ones who blow up this truck right now. The whole game eventually comes down to just like finding their base. Okay, I told you it gets off to a bit of a slow start, but it's going to pick up, trust me. Okay, I so wish this wasn't the case, but we're forced to heal. We took some damage there, so we're forced to heal right here. You cannot move until you've healed yourself. So we're going to walk in a certain way. So this guy in the hallway might give us a little push. What you're supposed to do is just follow them as they're talking to each other. But if you angle yourself the right way... Angle yourself the right way. This might not work. You can get past him. Then when Tess is done talking... sometimes he can just send you launching down the hallway to avoid this very slow, nonchalant walking. Okay, another restart encounter coming up right here. And well, you'll see. This puts a companion further. So, restart encounter right there. And then Tess is already in this room talking to this guy, and that makes the section just makes you proceed to the next area a little bit faster. Trying to think of some other things to mention about Grounded. Well, here's something. At certain points throughout the game will force you to very slowly walk, like we did in that hallway. It turns out crouch walk, even if you're holding sprint, it just you just have to slowly walk. It turns out crouch walking is faster than walking. So if you see me just crouch walk through an area, it's because you can't run, and it's faster than just normal walking. Also, when you come across like a new gun or a new bomb of some sort, Joel will always do this slow looking at it animation. And there are ways around it, which we will definitely take advantage of. Also, I'll sometimes throw punches before hitting a triangle prompt because, as you can see, it just teleports the gun to his back pocket. And if he has a gun in his hand when you hit a triangle prompt like that, he'll slowly put it away, and it wastes like a second. So you'll see me do that from time to time.
Come on.
I promise this run gets better, okay? But yeah, this run, right here is the first instance of being able to crouch walk instead of slowly walking, and then right there we can run again. Riveting stuff, I know. But yeah, this run is routed so that every bullet basically has an enemy's name on it. This bullet goes to this person, this bomb goes to that person. Very, very routed. We do rely on some ammo drops. Sometimes we just can't help it. We have to rely on certain things.
You must be thinking of something.
Okay, restart encounter. We're at the top of the ladder.
Down through here. You think Robert's still got our guns?
All right, more timed crouch walking.
It should be easy to unload. Hold up. Spores.
All right, we're finally going to get to an enemy encounter. Like I said, the stages of infection in this game are Runners, stalkers, clickers, and bloaters. I'll talk about the infected types as we encounter them, but runners are the most basic. That's what you encounter most in this game.
Be careful.
They see you and they run at you. It's a very original name. But that's basically all they do. So I mentioned every bullet has like an enemy's name on it. So we have 5 right now. There are 3 runners in this next room, and we're going to headshot 3 of them. That's the plan anyway. So then we leave here with 2. Wish you could shoot here, but you can't. All right, 3 headshots. 1, 2, 3. All right, he got a hit in. That could be bad later. There's some health I can pick up later. But yeah, on grounded, taking a little damage like that, you know, it could be very, very bad. Now, instead of dying in 3 pistol bullets, he might die in 2. I don't plan on that happening, but it could happen. There's some health a little bit out of my way that I can get, though. No big deal. Most important thing is we leave here with 2 pistol bullets. Because if you enter the next area with 2 pistol bullets, the next enemy we kill will always drop 3 if you have 1 or 2. In this case, it's 2. Also, this what I did right there. If you hold down sprint in an enclosed space and then walk forward, he'll do like a little launch, like you saw. He just launched forward. I don't think you can do that on PS3. I think that's a remastered exclusive thing because of the frame rate. Nothing much to mention. By the way, if you haven't played this game before, you should. And I checked before this run on the PlayStation Store. It's 50% off. It's $10. So you should pick it up. $10.
Clear.
It's hard to think about, but the original game is almost 9 years old. That's kind of gross to think about. Doesn't feel like that long. Oh well. All right, restart encounter here for a couple reasons. One, it places us further, but sometimes the game can crash. Like when you go through the door. So this kind of prevents that from happening. Here's a fun little thing you can do if you crouch here and just look up. You kind of unload the outside area. It's just a visual glitch. There's a lot of glitches in this game, which is why there's a glitchless category and an any % category.
No soldiers. No
This doesn't really count as a game-breaking glitch. It's just visual. But sometimes it's just fun and funny to look at. Also, if you want to crouch on flat surfaces, it's slow. If you do it on inclines, it's very, very fast. Inclines break this game completely, by the way. Both with the combat and with, well, just standing and crouching.
Not right now, Terrence. Not now.
All right, we are approaching the slums area, which honestly I think is one of the hardest encounters in the game, if you can believe it. Well, I think the reason it comes across that way is because all we have is a pistol. When we get later on, we'll have a rifle, a shotgun, a shorty, which is a pocket shotgun. You can get a flamethrower if you want. An El Diablo, a bow. We have so much later on. So this fight coming up is a little heightened in difficulty because all we have is a pistol with very low ammo on it. As for context to this all, again, we're just looking for that guy, Robert. Remember, you want 2 pistol bullets heading into here. Sometimes the game can crash right there, too. So, good.
Let us through.
You guys need to turn around and head back. Let's go for it.
Our beef isn't with you. We just want Robert. We don't want to do this.
Turn the fuck around and leave now.
I'm not going anywhere without Robert.
Bitch, bash your skull.
Tess doesn't like a lot of people, and if she doesn't like someone, yeah. All right, these 2 guys are very slow to react. So what we're gonna do is run up to them,
cover you.
and shoot them.
Get the angle on them.
Ooh, he dropped an extra bullet for me. Nice. The first one always drops 3. But the second one, it's random if he drops an extra one for you. Which he did. All right, next area. There's 3 enemies, and there's a locked door. Now, one of the enemies has a key. The enemy that you kill last is the one with the key. So we want the enemy closest to the door to be the last one that we kill. But we have to kill these enemies in a very specific way,
Two of our guys died trying to take Tess out.
which forces them into position.
She and Joel are on their way here right now to get Robert. Jesus. We shouldn't have taken this job. You know our call. Let's spread out and make sure no one's creeping
All right.
around.
Here we go. I don't know where the last guy's gonna be. All right, he's out here. That's weird. That was weird. He was supposed to be around here. Oh, let me get the extra health. Okay. All right, we have 2 bullets. That's what we wanted leaving here. The enemies did a weird thing there. That's okay. All right, continue to save ammo, but be efficient. Two more enemies up here. They were very... Did you see them just slowly stand up to accept their fate right there? Sorry, that was funny. All right, marathon safety. I'm grabbing a med kit for later on. Normally, I just hop down and continue. Because like I said, if a run is perfect, we don't use a med kit at all, but I'm just playing it safe. We only get 1 try today.
There's our boy.
All right, Wharf. There's, I think, like 8 or 9 enemies here. But we're going to just run past them all. Certain areas, you have to kill everybody. Other areas, you can just run past. This is one of those, like the previous areas, you had to kill everybody. Here, we can just run past. But we have to do it in a specific way. All right, getting alerted is okay. Okay, good.
Just want to talk, Robert.
So when I picked up that brick, I let go of sprint, and then after I picked it up, I held it back down. If I had held it down the whole time, I would have been alerted and shot and killed. And we do that a lot throughout this run, where it looks like I'm just sprinting through, I'm actually letting go for a second or two and then holding it back down. It's super important. All right, pretty good slums. Except for that first part, but that's all right.
We gotta get out of here. Now.
All right, need this melee weapon. Melee weapons have a certain number of hits in them. A piece of wood like this has 4, a bat has 6, and a pipe has 9. And because the heads-up display on the bottom right is disabled, you have to keep track in your head how many you have. Oh, this is Marlene. She's the leader of that resistance group, the Fireflies, I talked about. She needs something smuggled out of the city, so we're going to see what that something is. There's more to the story than what I'm saying. I'm just giving you the Cliff Notes version, because this is a speed run. All right. Now, notice when I picked up a shiv right there, I got like a little prompt. That was because the first one we picked up. Now, just keep this in your memory. We didn't have a blade or binding, and we didn't pick one up. When you pick up your first of something, again, be it a shiv, Molotov, medkit, smoke bomb, whatever, you're also given the supplies to craft another one of whatever it is you picked up, as long as it was the first one that you picked up, and your inventory was empty. We used that to our advantage like 2 different times throughout the run, which is why I'm mentioning it now. All right, last stretch. And also, at certain points throughout the run, Joel is given all of his health back because there was like a time lapse in the story. You just got to memorize where that points are right now. At no point so far has he gotten any of his health back. But after this area, he will. So even if he leaves here with almost no health, that's fine. All right, here we go. Let go of sprint. Hold it back down. Swing. Nobody heard that. Nobody heard that. They don't know we're here. They don't know we're here. Okay, now they know we're here. And we are golden. Very nice. So there's also another thing in this game, which we call it's not an original name, but it's a stun lock. What happens, if you're holding sprint and either running towards or away from an enemy, they'll just keep shooting you over and over and over, and Joel will like physically react to it. And if you never let go of sprint, they'll just keep shooting you over and over. On easy mode, it's annoying. On grounded, it's deadly. So what I did there was I crouched behind that crate after they had started shooting at me, and that kind of broke the cycle of them eventually letting their aim be perfect. Which I will also do from time to time throughout the run. All right. That's a relief to make it past that area.
Joel, give me a hand with this.
All right, that girl right there, her name's Ellie. Oh, just, you find out later, but I'll mention it right now because there's nothing else going on. She got bitten by a runner 3 weeks ago, in context of the story, and she didn't turn because normally you turn within a day or two. So she's immune, and so they want to get her to like their main Firefly base so they can maybe extract a cure. And that's really the plot of the whole game. Because their base isn't in Boston, it's somewhere else. And that's really the plot of the whole game, is just getting to another location. All right, here starts another dry spell of encounters. But that all went pretty well. Again, he could have almost no health at all right now, and that's perfectly fine, because after this next cutscene, he'll get it all right back. Also keep in mind, because we used one melee weapon hit, we went from 4 to 3. Also, we have one pistol bullet, which again is pretty important. Because when we enter like the next chapter called the downtown chapter, well, I'll talk about it when we get there. It's more ammo drop manipulation. All right, time lapse. Joel has all his health back. Tess is back. If we smuggle her out of the city, Marlene will give us like a bunch of weapons. So there is a reward for doing what Marlene wants. So we got to drop her off at the Capitol building, which is somewhere over there. Pretty far. All right, so this chapter, we basically just run away from a bunch of soldiers that are trying to kill us because we escaped from the QZ.
Who's waiting for us at the drop-off?
You said there's some fireflies.
Also, there are like 5 or 6 copy and paste, like the exact same generator, same prompt, same everything. So get used to that.
Something like that. How long is this all gonna take?
For me, once we get to the downtown building, the game really picks up. All right, I did a little trick right there as well. If you have the flashlight on, when you start climbing the ladder and you look up and you mash triangle, you actually, you can hit the triangle prompt that triggers this in-game cutscene at the bottom of the ladder instead of triggering it at the top. Saves like 3 seconds.
We're good. Come on up.
All right, this section usually goes. I don't know why I'm going to say this, but this section usually goes pretty well most of the time. When we run past the soldiers, there are ways to consistently get past them without them either seeing us or injuring us. Because the next time Joel gets all of his health back is after the Capitol, which is quite a ways away. Looks clear. Aw. Don't worry, he's fine. But that soldier isn't. We kill that soldier. And now they're after us.
Follow me. You take cover.
So it turns out, you know, you're supposed to like time your way through here because they have flashlights on their guns, but you can just run through. All right, now this jump right here is very important. Perfect. The jumping in this game is awkward, but there's a few spots where you have to do it. If I didn't nail that jump, I would have had to do something different here, but if we just crouch under that flashlight, we can just go and they won't see us. He fired a bullet, but it wasn't at us. And we're good. One more batch of running through.
Come on, Ellie.
We also need a brick before we leave here. Getting alerted is part of the plan. Yeah, like 99% of the time I make it through without ever getting shot. It always looks scary when you hear that alert sound and you hear voices like, straggler over there, but right there they don't really hit you. As long as you crouch behind that thing and pick up the brick, they never really hit you.
Still on the loose, sir. Break off pursuit and report back to Sector 11.
I don't think they see us.
And we just continue onward. So they've given up their chase on us, so we're fine. All right, a restart encounter right there pretty much does the same thing as like the first restart encounter we did, just skips the camera panning behind them, introducing the area. All right, I suppose I should start talking about this now. So throughout, this is like halfway through this area is where the run really gets going. But in this building, it introduces us to Molotovs and medkits. We picked up a medkit earlier, as you can see, but that one didn't introduce us to crafting our own. The one we pick up in this building will. So at first, the game introduces us to medkits. But as I mentioned before, medkits, if the run we do here is perfect, we don't use any. We don't need any. But what would help us out is a Molotov. And it turns out Molotovs and medkits require the same crafting ingredients, which is a full thing of alcohol and a full thing of rags. So what we're going to do, if you skip picking up something that the game wants you to pick up, like your first medkit or your first Molotov, what the game's going to do is it's going to keep placing them in your way. And if you pick up one, the game will despawn the ones later on. But if you just keep skipping them, the game's just going to keep placing them in your way. And we use that to our advantage to basically gain an extra Molotov using this mechanic. Tess took her sweet, precious time there. That's a clicker. That's like 2 stages of infected past a runner.
Search for supplies.
Stalkers are they only appear like 2 times throughout the run because they're just like a weird in-between phase. Runners and clickers you encounter the most. Clickers are, what are they? They are blind, and they use this clicking noise for echolocation, so they can hear where you are. And basically, it's the same throughout all difficulties. If they touch you, you're dead. Doesn't matter how much health you have, doesn't matter what difficulty it is. If they touch you, you're dead. And their skin is a little more armored, so they take more to bring down. Also, that clicker, that Tess killed, it will always drop 3 pistol bullets if you have 2 or less. I know I mentioned most of the time you'll get a drop if you have 3 or less, but for that specific clicker, you'll get a drop of 3 if you have 2 or less. And they can be scary, they can be threatening, but certain areas, like I mentioned, you can just run past. This restart encounter is just to get Tess and Ellie right next to us. Because if you just go here without doing that restart encounter, they take a lot longer to just come up behind you. I like this trick right here. If you point the camera this way and then turn it when they start talking. Oh, I did it wrong.
This is crazy.
Once the subtitles appear on the screen, if you turn it back on them, it just skips to the next line. To my knowledge, it's the only place where this is a thing. I wish there were more. All right. This is the first real difficult encounter, besides slums. Call it the downtown fight. Again, very original name. But there's 4 runners and a clicker. Now, something with this game. If you throw a brick or a bottle at an enemy and then swing at them with a melee weapon, it's an insta-kill. So we are going to take advantage of that. Here's a revolver and a med kit. Just skip them. I'll explain why later. And here we go. Brick throw, bottle throw, swing, swing, pick up a fresh one, clicker. Last one. And on contact, restart encounter. Perfect. Textbook perfect fight. All right. Now, you saw I didn't pick up the med kit. That was right before the fight. That's because we want to pick up, it's stuff I explained earlier, but we want to pick up a Molotov and then craft another Molotov before we pick up our first med kit. That will make it so we gain an extra Molotov. And the reason I didn't pick up the revolver before is because, again, Joel will spend a really long time looking at it. If you pick one up later, he doesn't do that. So that restart encounter right there skips Tess, like, not giving us a med kit, but giving us the ingredients to craft our own med kit. Which is pretty much the same thing. If she does that, the med kits later on won't be there. It's all just a bunch of inventory manipulation. So here we go. Here's the payoff of that inventory manipulation that we were doing. So if you played this casually, you probably noticed there's only a Molotov coming up here, but because we never picked up a med kit, there's also a Molotov and a med kit right here. But we want to pick up the Molotov. So we picked up a Molotov before we picked up a med kit. Now remember what I said before, you'll only get it refilled if it's empty. So because that was our first Molotov, we have a full thing of rags and alcohol. Now, a way to get another one is to craft a Molotov, then pick up a med kit. Took a while to figure out. Okay. We don't go loud in every area, we do have to stealth this area, but we do a little trick here. Normally, there's a clicker underneath a ladder that leads to the exit here. But because we distracted that one with a brick, that clicker that's supposed to be right here never spawns in. Neat little trick there. Ellie's kind of glitched out there. All right, and because it's really difficult to climb up this ladder, we are going to craft a Molotov and then just kind of push Tess out of our way. So the next med kit we pick up will give us the ingredients for another Molotov. That was the whole point of all that. All right.
Everyone okay?
Yes.
Now, there's 3 runners in that building right there.
You guys are pretty good at this.
We're not going to kill them. We can get by without having to kill any of them. But we are going to distract them. With a bullet right there. All 3 of them came out the front side, which means the other side of the building is clear to just bring this crate
Shit, runners!
right over here. But by the time they know we're here, we're already through. And then they despawned right now. Beautiful strat. Now that only worked because of where we were standing when we fired the bullet. If we fired it any other way, sometimes 2 come out the right side, 1 comes out the left side. If that happens, the strat doesn't work. You can retry it as many times as you want, but
They're coming.
I know.
it worked the first time, so good. Alrighty, museum. We can also run past, we don't have to kill anyone here. There's 3 clickers and then like a bunch of runners we can just run past. But before we get there,
Okay, how do we get out of this place?
here is a revolver. And as you can see, because it's the first one we pick up, we get a little prompt for it. But Joel didn't spend 6 seconds looking at it. All right, now watch the Molotov right here in my inventory. Watch this. When I pick up this med kit, which the game thinks is our first one, you can now craft your own health kits. There's a little wrench icon over it. That means you have enough to craft one. So we just manipulated the game into turning 1 Molotov into 3.
I'm alive. I'll make my way around.
Look, they're here.
Tess?
That's it for the inventory manipulation here. We do that one more time in the next chapter. And then that's it. Okay, right here. As soon as this clicker in front of us stops moving, right there, sprint past them. Now we're just going to hope that this runner is here and doesn't push me against the wall. And he doesn't. Of all the things in this run, I was most worried about that one. Sometimes he can push you against the wall the very moment you open the door. But he didn't. All right, we're going to use our remaining brick to just leave. And as long as you hop out this window, Tess will get rid of Ellie's plus sign. A plus sign basically means a companion is in trouble and they need your help. If the plus sign fills in, they die, it's game over. And then they checkpoint you. I fear you might see that a lot throughout this run, especially in the next chapter. Hopefully you don't. But yeah, if I hopped out the window to the right, the plus sign would have filled in. You need to hop out that specific window. Very, very strange. All right, that restart encounter makes it so we can actually run faster. And again, it skips the camera panning down and stuff. All right, story update. Let's see. We're approaching the Capitol. We're supposed to drop Ellie off with the Fireflies, but we find out the Fireflies were murdered by soldiers. And it turns out in the museum, Tess got bitten when we opened the door and saw her kill that runner. Yeah, it bit her. So she stays behind, sacrifices herself so we can get away. And then we go and find a guy named Bill because he owes us some favors because of something in the past. Doesn't really tell you why.
I'm glad Marlene hired.
And he gets us a car so we can drive to where We think the Fireflies are. Well, we don't know where the Fireflies are, but Tommy, our brother from the intro, Joel's brother, used to be a Firefly, so we're going to go find him, and then he'll tell us where to go from there. That's really the plot of a majority of the game. All right, but capital.
Go upstairs.
This is a very RNG heavy area.
Just keep pushing forward.
So we're going to get a rifle. There's Tess. Hi, Tess. We're continuing to get supplements. All right. Let me do this strat first, then I'll explain what it was.
Keep your head down.
Good. That's a tough strat. There's some downtime later on. I'll explain what I was just doing.
Look for that hole. Stay down. Stay low.
Ow. We're good. That's it. Checkpoints us right here. If I had died any spot throughout there, I don't know if I mentioned that. On Grounded, the checkpoints are also a lot worse. So on easy mode, if I had died there, the game would have checkpoint me right there. But on Grounded, it sends you all the way back to the top floor. And here, it's really, really tough to have to do all that again because of where it places you. So what I did with the rifle, if Joel picks up the rifle normally, he looks at it for a while, just like with the revolver. But what I did was I picked up the rifle at the last second. I picked up the rifle. Oh, that's bad. No, we're good. We're good. Okay. They give up their chase right now, but I wasn't supposed to get alerted there. That is just random. I've lost like maybe 6 or 7 runs in my entire life in that like long hallway right there. That's a relief. Okay. So what was I talking about? The rifle. Yeah. If you just stop at the rifle and pick it up, Joel looks at it for a long time. So what I did was I picked it up at the last second after enemies had already spawned in. The game doesn't let you look at it for a long time if enemies are around, so we just picked it right up. And then I fired a bullet. That bullet, it didn't alert them to us. It actually froze them in place. And then it just made it convenient to, it's a complicated strat, but it basically allows us to run right past them without them being very aggressive. And then the bottom floor, there's 2 different things of RNG that you can get. An enemy like walks towards you, then you go in the room to the right. Or the RNG I got, the first enemy walks into the room to the right, so you have to go through the middle.
I got it.
All right, there we go. Now, the checkpoint for this area right here was his dialogue, I got it. So we wanted to swap to our revolver and pick up those things of supplements. As long as you do that before Joel says, I got it, you get to keep them. And then that checkpoint actually places us at the top of the ladder that Ellie dropped for us.
It'll be faster to go through here.
All right, we're in Billstown. RNG City. This is the most random part of the game. Once we make it to the next area, which is Pittsburgh, I feel like I gain a lot more control over what happens in the run. There's still a lot of random parts to it, but you can adapt. Here, most of it, you're at the mercy of the game. But this run's pretty good so far. Let's see. Okay, all that inventory manipulation we did with the Molotov and the med kit, we're going to do the same thing in Billstown, but with modded weapons and nail bombs. we are going to delay picking up a modded weapon until we get our first nail bomb and then craft another one. Just trust me, it's for the betterment of the run. We end up with a full thing of blades and binding to craft another modded weapon in the middle of Pittsburgh. That's what we use it for. By the way, me clicking the flashlight off and on, it has nothing to do with the speed run. It's just a tick. It's just a quirk. All right, restart encounter right here puts Ellie and Joel on the other side of the house. This area is dependent on Ellie's speed, not mine, so it's a important restart encounter. Okay, the sound's freaking out. Don't worry, it's not supposed to do that, but it does it all the time. It's nothing. It's a little sound glitch. But we call this strat the Ellie whistle strat. If we spend a certain amount of time in this building, Ellie will start to attempt to whistle. Now what that does, it triggers the dialogue that's supposed to happen in there, and it brings it out here. And it skips over the dialogue that's supposed to play out here, and it allows us to boost her up like 5 or 6 seconds faster. All right, now this strat I get asked about the most. Why are you wasting a revolver bullet? Because there are 2 clickers behind us that didn't know we were here. Now they do know we're here. And it allows us to sprint, because we need to open that shiv door and get the stuff that's inside, but we were otherwise just waiting for Ellie to open the gate. You saw we went through just as she was ready to open it. And it doesn't matter how many, like, wasting our revolver ammo, because the next area is going to give us a bunch that lasts us the rest of the run. All right, this clicker's either going to drop nothing, 2 rifle, or 3 pistol. Come on, 3 pistol. 2 rifle. I will take it. All right, that strat is definitely one of the newer ones. If you enter Billstown with 3 rifle, 1 pistol, 1 revolver, that clicker will either drop nothing, 2 rifle, or 3 pistol. It's a weird strat. But we got rifle, so that's fine. All right, this strat's a weird one as well. Normally, you have to cross it and then wait for Ellie to cross it, or you can pick it up, place it as far to the right as you can, and then you can pick it up on the other side without waiting for Ellie. Ellie still finds her way up here.
Okay, come on up.
I told you the run picks up. Even in, like, the downtime, there's still things to think about. All right, here's where you're supposed to, like, practice your bow skills. There was a bow there, but we didn't pick it up because Joel will look at it for a long time. So we pick it up later. We can still collect arrows, though. As you can see, there's still arrows in his backpack. They still stack up, even though you don't have the bow yet.
Keep your head low and you'll be fine. Clear on this. Don't take too time in this right. He's a good guy. He just...
All right, got to get those out of our way. Get a brick before we leave. All right, now for Bill's trap. Bill's a very cautious man.
Damn it, Bill.
What just happened?
But it's interesting. All right, right here, we need to hold off waves of infected, runners and clickers.
There.
Now, on easy, normal, hard, and survivor, if a runner catches you, you can mash square to push them off of you and get a free headshot. On grounded, no matter what, it just kills you. So we can't let one get to us.
And it'll bring me down.
Now here, you pretty much have infinite ammo on the revolver. But you need to keep track of how many are in the gun. It's pretty much, it's not exactly infinite, but it's pretty much.
Joel,
All right, target practice.
Shit, here they come.
here's some ammo.
That's purely visual. Ellie's not actually giving you ammo. Clicker. Right. That one missed shot, that was the only problem. That was good. All right, now we are safe. Ellie is going to accidentally knock this counterweight off, so we're higher in the air. Infected can't get to us, but we have to protect Ellie now.
Come on, you can do it.
Now, there's also a neat little trick at the end here. Normally, if you like have an empty revolver and you're finished with the area, you leave with like 11 or 12 bullets.
Hurry, they're getting close. Hurry!
What we're gonna do, 1, 2, 3, reload the revolver. That was a perfect fight. And we leave here with an almost fully loaded revolver. So instead of anywhere between 11, 12, or 13, we should have 16. And you do have to mash here. That's Bill. Yeah. There's a good chance that's the only useful thing you're going to see him do. Bill is like the anti-speedrun of this game. You might see why later. All right, craft a Molotov there because we have some downtime. Yeah, we have 16 revolver bullets. That was the whole point of it. All right, there's supposed to be infected coming through this door, but if you get by it fast enough, you can just go right past them. And we're good. So Bill is going to help us get a car. But we need to travel through his town to get the right stuff for it.
Good.
There's the bow, by the way. As you can see, he just picked it up. No looking at it.
Don't leave the door open. Got it.
We have to cross to the other building.
All right, there's a strat right here. He takes that one step backwards. That means give him a little room. When he starts to turn around, run towards him and get out of my way. There we go. If you get stuck behind him, he, like I said, he's the anti-speedrun. He will lose you time, whether it's just his movements or his plus signs. He's supposed to be an asset, but he becomes more of a liability, really. I guess limitations of the PlayStation 3. Okay, this is actually one of the most important encounters in the entire run because of how the... Dang it, Bill. You were supposed to keep running. I just said it.
Answer my question about Tess. Yeah, I thought the two of you were
He just stopped for no reason,
She's busy.
which messes up my timing a little bit. I need to eyeball this one. They need to investigate it. Come on. All right, they're taking the long way around. All right, that was slow, but that could have gone very, very badly, so I'll take it.
all right.
So that nail bomb on the ground doesn't become an actual nail bomb until... Hold on. Okay, we're fine. That doesn't become an actual, like, active nail bomb until I get alerted. So what I did was I threw a Molotov on the ground. They all went to investigate the flames, and I sprinted when they were all near it, and they all blew up. A bottle or an arrow isn't loud enough. We have to use a Molotov there. So that was pretty good. It took a little while to gather around it. You at least want the clickers dead. That's most important. Now, we also have to keep track of how many pipe hits we have left, because we're going to do a trick later that involves a broken melee weapon. So we had 9, and we used 1, so now we have 8.
This thing blows, it shreds anybody standing near it.
This is an example of Joel, like, picking something up and then having to look at it for a while. This is the only one we have to, because Bill won't move until you pick that up.
Every few weeks, this military caravan rides through town. I assume they're out looking for supply. You'd be amazed at the shit that they overlook. Anyway, a few months back,
Okay, I have lost count. When I'm doing runs at home, this split name is called, this chapter is called Graveyard, because we run through a graveyard. But it's also a very appropriate name because I have lost count how many runs I have lost here. Because like I said, it's very, very random. I actually don't really have time to explain the strategies. Just know what I'm doing is the closest I can get to the strat being like consistent. There's no surefire way to get through here consistently. So I'm going to focus here. 8 hits. Got to keep track of how many pipe hits you have. Bill can't get a plus sign. 7. Oh, he killed one. That could be bad. 6, 5, 4. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, this is bad. You know what? I'm going to do it over. I'm sorry, but I have to. Bill wasn't supposed to kill that clicker. He was supposed to slice it and then kill it. Him killing it right away made it so he got down here sooner than he should have. There was nothing I could do there. And I couldn't waste the ammo. It's better to just do it again. All right, 8 hits. 7. The split living up to its name. There, he killed it. 6, 5, 4. All right, that was perfect. Notice there was only 1 there instead of 2. Happens. Ooh, he dropped 1. All right, is what it is. Let's keep going. Distract them. I think we're okay. All right, that was good. I could hear them behind me struggling. That wasn't supposed to happen, but the result was there. By distracting them by distracting those runners in that specific way, it prevented a spawn of the infected in this part of the area, which means we could go right to the door. All right, so there's our nail bomb. So now we can pick up a modded weapon and have the supplies that we need. And you think the worst of the RNG is over, but wait, there's more. All right, this teleports the companions next to us. Now we're going to do a little something here. We're going to pretend to go into this garage here. That will make Bill run faster. Get the stuff up here. Now, give me a hand with this. Get the arrow, and because that triangle prompt showed up a little bit earlier than it normally does because of what we did there, pretending to go into the room, the spawn of the infected here are going to be a little bit delayed, which means it should be a little bit easier to run past them. All right, we need to run past all of these infected, get between the buses, and then kill 6 of them. But we need a broken melee weapon to get more shotgun drops. So right there, we just dropped our revolver. All right, this might be a slow process. That's all right. This area, just as long as we get through. All right, it's fine. All right. Good. All right, so that we swung our melee weapon at that runner, and it broke. And if you swap to a gun as soon as it breaks, instead of throwing away the broken melee weapon, he throws away whatever gun you had. It takes some specific timing, but it's consistent. And there it is. And as a result, we are given more shotgun ammo than we would have normally had. Because remember, we never get a drop if we have 3 or more, but now we have 7. Which is more than I need. All right, time-wise, that was a bad graveyard. Quality-wise, health-wise, ammo-wise, we're doing very, very well. Alrighty, high school. The strat here is use all your supplies and go Rambo. You'll see why in just a second. All right, now look. We just got all our supplies back that we just used. I'm sure you're like, but Anthony, I thought this was glitchless. I know. It turns out Grounded is a little buggy because it's a DLC difficulty. In 3 different spots in the run, if you kill all the enemies and then restart encounter, you get the supplies back that you used. Now, why do we allow that? Well, first of all, let me kill a bloater, which only requires 1 Molotov, and 2 shotgun shells. It was a little more specific than that, but that was a perfect high school. So the reason we allow that is because it's very easy to soft lock the area. If you kill the last enemy and then hit the triangle prompt on the door too early, you soft lock the area. And the only way to get it to work again is to restart encounter. So if we didn't allow a restart encounter there, the run would be dead. And that's not fun. So we just allow that. Besides, it's only for Grounded. That doesn't work on the other difficulties. Ah, crap. All right, those punches were supposed to kill him. That works too. The earlier you kill them, the better. The strat there was supposed to be kill one, injure the one behind it, so a punch would kill it. But apparently I didn't injure it. I didn't spread the shotgun wide enough. Oh well. I have a good amount of ammo heading into this next area, which is good. I never have 5. That's fantastic. All right, now because we got our nail bomb and crafted one, here's the modded weapon that just kept being in our way. Again, that one wouldn't be there if we had picked one up prior, but because we kept skipping it, it's there. So now we're going to pick it up because we can most effectively use it here. Okay. Now, this area is a bit weird. We're not going to despawn. We're going to prevent spawns. In Glitchless, we treat that as a separate thing. There's 3 waves of enemies here. The first wave, the game spawns in a clicker and then 2 runners later, out of thin air. And if you alert this clicker as soon as it spawns in, the next 2 runners just don't spawn in. So instead of a clicker and 2 runners, it's just that clicker. That saves ammo as well. All right, the next 3 runners and a clicker, and then another 3 runners and a clicker. Bill tried to be helpful there, but he's using a shotgun on enemies that are like 25 feet away from him. All right. More runners and clickers. Thanks for the help, Bill. All right, we're done with Bill. He got us a car. We're out of here. 3 shotgun shells, that's perfect. Because we need 3 for the sewers. If we don't have 3, we would need to rely on a drop on some enemies later on, but we don't have to. So we're good there. All right, besides Graveyard, that was, this run overall is really well, which unfortunately is how most of my runs go. Graveyard kills every single run that I do. in various different ways. Okay. Let's see. What are we up to now? They were going through Pittsburgh and they got attacked by people. So now the goal of this entire chapter is just to make it out of Pittsburgh alive. And then make their way to Tommy on foot. They managed to get from Boston to Pittsburgh with the car, though. Also, they know Tommy's in Jackson City, which is far away. All right, because I got rifle ammo dropped by that clicker in the beginning of Billstown, what am I going to do here? 1 pistol headshot, 2 rifle body shots. Yeah. If I had gotten pistol dropped instead, it would have been 3 pistol headshots. All right, I need a pistol headshot here, though. If I don't get it, I have to restart encounter. There we go. Nice. All right, this guy should be right in front of me. Need that melee weapon. Swap out to the revolver. That was good. If I had missed that pistol headshot, I would have had to redo the area. All right, most important thing with this area is we leave here with 2 rifle bullets. That is the most important thing. Because of the next enemy encounter.
All right, go. See if you can get a problem.
There's some pretty gnarly stuff in here.
Ellie!
See, again, the whole plot point of this entire chapter is we're stuck in Pittsburgh. We got to get out. We're heading to a big yellow bridge because that's the way out of the city.
All right, I got it.
We got to cut through buildings and go various ways while avoiding people. Toolbox, rag. Make sure in the downtime you got to make sure all your guns are reloaded. Triangle prompt on the door, restart encounter, places us outside right away.
All right.
All right, so this next strat,
That's our way out of here.
let's see.
Hey, Ellie.
We're going to use, that's why it was important to leave that encounter with 2 rifle bullets, because we're going to use 2 rifle bullets, and then because we got down to 0, we get them right back. Yeah, we're doing good on supplies. So here we go.
When did you learn to shoot?
Reload it, use it on him, kill him, get the alcohol he drops, and that enemy drops 2 rifle bullets behind us. And we pick him up. It's as if we didn't even use anything.
We'll get there.
And then we pick up a smoke bomb right there. We don't have to do any more inventory manipulation. But that inventory manipulation we did in Billstown is going to give us a modded weapon for later. We still need to continue to pick up alcohol and rags for like 1 more Molotov, I think. All right, bookstore. There's like a dozen enemies here. But thankfully, it's one of those areas that we can just run past. Thank God. Because as you get more guns in your backpack, enemies get more lethal guns as well. Shotguns, rifles. Pretty much any gun that you pick up, enemies also get those guns as well. All right, good beginning of Pittsburgh. But yeah, that was another instance of like stopping and starting my sprints so I wasn't alerted in certain spots. Like that last enemy I threw the brick at. If I throw it while sprinting the entire time, you get alerted right before it hits him. And what can happen is you get shot in your back sometimes. But what I did was, after I threw the brick, I let go of sprint and then held it back down after it hit him. And that made it so we weren't alerted until much later. All right, there's a lot of downtime here. This reminds me. I'm running this on PlayStation 4, unpatched, but it's actually like a dozen seconds faster on PlayStation 5, unpatched, via the backwards compatibility. But as a result, the water and the lights don't work. So if I was on PS5 right now, it would look like Naughty Dog patched in like electric eels to the water. It's like flashy, and I just... In my stream, I give like a seizure warning. It's that bad. So I didn't want to subject you guys to that. So we're running it on like the 12 seconds slower PS4 unpatched. The time difference really is in a loading screen and in like a much later chapter. As for AI and stuff, it doesn't affect anything. Loading times are just a little faster. All right, bottle, bow, and hotel, which was the scene they showed off in their like E3 2012 demo. Oh my God, that was almost 10 years ago. That's gross.
It's clear, Ellie. Come on down.
All right, for marathon safety, I'm going to get this thing of alcohol right here. I wouldn't normally do that in a normal run, like a record attempt, because we would normally get half a thing of alcohol in the dam chapter. But there's an instance where you sometimes aren't able to pick it up and it despawns, which, oh, that would be terrible. So I'm just going to pick it up there. All right, we have to kill one enemy in this building. This entire building, there's a lot of enemies here. We only have to kill one, and then we can just run past the rest. Stop my sprint right there. Start up there. Taking a scenic route to the second floor. Trigger in the enemies. You can tell because the subtitles on the bottom. Ellie, get out of my way. Thank you. All right, let's see. Gonna wait for that guy to go into his room. Pick up the bottle and the arrow, which it's just RNG. It didn't break. And then we run past. We need this thing of alcohol right here. Good. Now, if you get alerted there at all and you go for the elevator shaft, the game would spawn in enemies out of thin air behind you and then attack you. So it makes it impossible to open the elevator. All right, we're finally going to use all those supplements we picked up to upgrade weapon sway. We have 50 and it costs 50, and then before Ellie hops down, swap from the bow to the rifle. So that's it for the supplements. We were picking them up here and there. They're either worth 5 or 10. I know where to pick them up, and they eventually add up to 50, which we need right here. Now, I know it would probably make more sense to upgrade health or something, because it's grounded. But the upgrade doesn't really help. I could get away with the really bad weapon sway of the reticle. Everything before this. But starting the next encounter and almost every encounter after that, I need a little help. So as good as anyone in this game is, to play professionally from this point forward, you really need the upgraded weapon sway. All right. Here's the scariest part of the game for a first-time player, the hotel basement. This is the first introduction to stalkers, which are basically just runners with more annoying combat and really bad pathfinding. They will hide, they will jump out at you, they will turn around even though they're right in front of you. They're just really weird. Now we need to get a key, turn on a generator, and then open a door. Now whichever one of those you do first will spawn an infected. We're going to go for the generator, and I just dropped a nail bomb because a stalker will spawn in out of thin air right now. And he just landed on it. So now we're going to go for the key. But I'm going to sprint around the bottom floor here a little bit, be all loud and stuff, because now there's a bloater. And as long as we made that noise on the bottom floor there, he should be there. Ooh. Oh, that was good. All right, and if we make it right here, stalkers just kind of go away. They're not allowed beyond like an invisible line down this hallway. The bloater can still get you, but we're out of there. Whew. That can go very badly. So that was perfect. There was a bloater there. He was just on the bottom floor. All right, 4 enemies. They didn't hear that. They didn't hear that either. They heard that, but there's only 1 enemy left. And that's it. Whew, very efficient killing. That was a good hotel. That should have hurt a lot more than it did, but that didn't do anything to his health. All right, this one you have to hit square. This one you don't have to. Naughty Dog's lying to you. You don't have to hit anything, because Ellie eventually just shows up anyway. All right, now for one of the tougher fights in the entire run. It's one of my favorites, but it's also one of the toughest and most important. We're saving our revolver and rifle ammo because we barely used our revolver. We're saving it for big encounters like this because it's a one-hit kill. You want to save that for the most important encounters. Financial District. There are 13 enemies we need to kill. If I mess up, there's going to be 15. We're going to use a nail bomb, a Molotov. We're going to use our rifle right away so that there's a chance we can get a lot dropped later on.
How about a hand?
You sure you can trust me with
Now, the nail bomb I throw, I do that right away. It has to kill 3 enemies. And the Molotov I throw has to kill 3 as well, because for whatever reason, that will prevent 2 extra enemies from spawning in later on.
Let's go.
All right, there's all these wrench icons next to the guns, but we do that later. Or the bombs, but we do that later. Just make sure everything's reloaded. Okay, here we go. If everything's right, I do this in like 35 seconds.
Yeah, that's all I should have known.
Four dead. Come on. And where's the rag? I don't know if I got the rag. That's okay though. Good fight. Really good fight. Good amount of rifle ammo too. All right, that was perfect.
I do.
I will have to check if I got a rag. There's a thing with that fight. You need to pick everything up that they drop before you lose control of Joel. Because after the cutscene that I just skipped, it all despawns. So you have to pick it up before you lose control of them, which was a bunch of ammo. And you consistently get a drop of a quarter rag and a full Molotov, which I heard that we picked it up.
There.
But I'm not sure if I picked up the rag. I'll be able to tell later. If I notice that I didn't, there's another pickup I can do later. Lose a little time, but you don't want to be without an extra Molotov for later. Everything is so routed in this category. If I don't have the appropriate bomb or something, not only can I not do it fast, I really can't do it at all. Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Busy couple of days,
The people in this city will kill you for a better pair of shoes that you have. All right, next area, we run past 2 enemies, and then there's... it's really only, like, the only instance of a legal, like, by glitchless rules, a legal despawn of enemies. If you... There's, like, 3 enemies on the 2nd floor of a building and 4 enemies on the ground floor. If you kill them... if you kill the bottom floor enemies quietly, like with a bow, the other enemies just go away. It's very weird. Here we go. We need the bow. Get the brick. Throw it at him. The other guy doesn't hear it, and we just kind of run past. And luckily we can sprint the rest of the way. Sometimes the enemies can bug out here, so we do a restart encounter. All right, and like I said, we're going to kill 4 enemies quietly. And the arrow didn't break. That's good. And Ellie's right here. Perfect. Now, there were either 2 or 3 enemies in this building right here. They just went away. If we go back, they're not there. It's so weird. All right, and oh my god, an arrow hasn't broke. This run's going so well. I shouldn't say it, but this run's going really well. I think the only thing we're missing a little bit is pistol, but we might have gotten some dropped in financial, so I'll have to see. All right, that military truck that killed those 2 people, yeah, we're going to run past it. We're going to reset the AI with that restart encounter, and here we go. Throw the brick at him, swing the bat at him, and just run. Ow. It's just a scratch. He's fine. All right, now, distracting that enemy. If I were to kill him, this guy with the revolver behind me would have hit me right there. So we had to do a melee weapon swing. For whatever reason, that pushes him back. I'm a little scared because I've never heard him have that dialogue there before. Okay, we seem to be okay. Not that I've never seen it, but almost all my runs don't have that extra thing of dialogue there. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. All right. Let's introduce now Henry and Sam. Henry and Sam, who are basically Bill 2.0. They have the same goal as us. They were just trying to get out of the city. So we're going to help each other. Henry knows of an abandoned something. I think it's a radio tower where I think his crew was supposed to meet. It's got food and shelter. So we're trying to head there. I say Henry's basically Bill 2.0 because there's a lot of ways he can just slow us down. All right, I'm trying to think how I want to approach this area. Let me think.
Fucking truck. It's been hounding us ever since we got in this damn. Sam, what are you doing? Nothing. Get rid of it.
There's 3 enemies in the next room, in the next area. And then there's 2 enemies up top. Now, the 2 enemies up top will very slowly walk out of their room if we kill the 3 enemies on the bottom floor quietly. But they'll run out of their room if we do it loudly, so we want to do it loud. All right, I'll use this. Here we go. Good. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that. We're fine, we're fine. Or my fingers got mixed up there. Now, Henry should be right behind us. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't. Oh, he is. Okay, good. That didn't lose much time then. Sometimes he could be, like, on the bottom floor. That entire section right there was basically Henry manipulation. That first, like, car that I had a hard time climbing, if he climbs up the driver's side part of the car, he spends another 10 seconds before climbing the next thing. If he climbs the front of the car, he climbs up right away. All right, apparently we picked up that rag. So, yeah, that was a perfect financial district. That's all the crafting we do for the entire run. Isn't that crazy?
Here we are.
We still have one more Molotov to pick up later, but it's on our way. Sometimes you can swing ahead of him into the cutscene. I was never good at that trick. All right, searchlight. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 enemies to kill. We're going to kill the first 1, 2, 3 quietly, and then go loud. All right, if I mess this up, it will checkpoint us in a very bad spot. So let's hope we get this. This is another spot we're using all of our revolver ammo. Good. Good. Perfect. We didn't get any of our arrows back, but that's okay. Now, shooting those enemies with the revolver was really tough because those bars, they actually have a hitbox. So if you hit them, it wouldn't kill the enemy. All right, we have one more arrow. We're going to use it on this guy. Got him. Swap out to our pistol. Triangle. Thank you.
All right, check it out.
I guess I was too far away from it. All right. If you do nothing, Henry will kill him for you, but we don't need any arrows leaving here. And,
Sam, let's go. All right, kid.
yeah, killing him yourself is faster. All right, now there's something weird with this next area. We're going to use a Molotov to kill 4 enemies in one throw, but there's a weird camera glitch that happens where the camera wants to point to the back wall constantly.
I'm sorry.
So a way to get rid of it is to restart encounter as soon as you enter the doorway, which is what we're going to do. It was never patched. It was never anything.
We stick together.
But if you've played this game, you probably know of it. And before we leave the bar, we're going to get a brick, which becomes very important later in the next area. Okay, and restart encounter. No more camera glitch. Now let's kill these 4 enemies. And the throw was perfect. 4 well-done enemies. All right, now there's another trick here. There's 2, actually. If you run Joel towards the back of this cop car, it skips the camera panning to the truck, so it saves some time there. And right here, if you shoot this propane tank really quickly, you don't have time to aim at it, it skips him falling down when the truck eventually shoots it. So that was perfect right there. Good searchlight.
Hey, we're gonna search this area.
All right, now for sewers, which is the second instance of Stalker encounter, which is, like I said, there are only 2, hotel basement and sewers. And this brick becomes very important for that encounter. Very important. All right, there's a lot of nothing going on here until we get to there. But, yeah, I gotta say, this run has been really, really good so far. That restart encounter right there. If you restart encounter as soon as he climbs that thing and then stands up from it, it sends you all the way up there. It saves like 15 seconds. Like I said, they either place you further, your companion's closer to you, or in the case of the high school, gives you back some of your supplies. That restart encounter thing, it doesn't work in every area, but it works in the high school, science lab, and the tunnel. We're going to use it in the tunnel as well, but that's like the second to last area in the game. But we don't use it in the science lab because it wastes too much time. And it doesn't help us. Because if Joel has like nothing in his inventory when you're finished with the science lab, that's fine. Well, he needs an arrow. Okay, there's a lot of nothing going on here, like I said. But we got to do a restart encounter right there. That will put Henry and Sam closer to us, which will make it so they open this door a lot faster as well.
Henry, give it a shot. All right.
We just got to get Ellie across to turn on a moving platform, but she can't swim. I don't know if I mentioned that. She can't swim, so we constantly have to use like pallets to get her across water. Trying to think what else to talk about right now. We need to have at least 3 revolver bullets for the science lab coming up later.
Let's go, Ellie.
There's another gun coming up, which is called the Shorty, which is basically a right holster pocket shotgun. Its range is terrible, but if you're close enough, it is a one-hit kill on just about any infected and person. But we don't pick it up right away. We pick it up later so he doesn't spend all day looking at it, just like we've been doing. Now here we have to swap out to the shotgun. Don't fall in the water, by the way. You want to ride this platform with them, because Henry will take his sweet, precious time getting you out of here. And how we doing on health? Well, we were hurt somewhere. The military truck, it clipped us as we were running away. That's the other thing with Grounded. You know, you got to keep track of where you took your damage. If you got punched or shot or something, it may be better use a med kit. If you stepped through some Molotov fire or you got clipped by that military truck, which doesn't do as much damage, maybe want to hang on to the med kit then. Luckily with this area, it doesn't matter how much health you have, really. Full health or no health, you attack it the same way. All right, 3 shotgun shells was important, I mentioned at the end of Billstown, because 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I'll take that. Now, I would have gotten revolver drops as well, but we have 4, so we weren't going to get any drop. We would only get dropped, remember, if we had 2. Yeah, right here, if you're low on, like, revolver or pistol, they'll only drop revolver or pistol, or shorty if you picked it up. But only, again, if you had 3 or less on the pistol and 2 or less on the revolver. We had 1 pistol, so I knew they were going to drop pistol, but that's the only thing they were going to drop. Certain enemies will only drop certain types of ammo as well. Like, those enemies will never, ever drop rifle ammo. That you just learn through trial and error.
Get out of here. Sam, you stay close to him.
But yeah, 3 shotgun shells is important because you don't want to swing at an infected with another infected right next to him. Not on Grounded. All right, Stalker time. I'm going to do a restart encounter as soon as we move him to create more favorable AI. All right, let's see. Perfect. If Sam gets a plus sign, if the triangle prompt will always be there if stalkers or clickers are far enough away. Even if Sam gets a plus sign, it doesn't matter. Now, you can get attacked in the short time while Sam is dropping the ladder. But that's why we needed the brick leaving the bar and not a bottle. Because if you're flat-footed, you can actually do an attack prompt with a brick in your hand, and you'll, like, bash it over their head. If it's a bottle, it breaks right away and knocks them to the ground. If it's a brick and you're flat-footed, you'll do this little, like, bash. Now, normally it's like 1, 2, 3, and then it's dead, but you can just do 1 and then move by really quickly. The reason we want to do that is because it's really, really fast animation. Stalkers have a really... It's stupid how fast they can hit you. From the moment it starts like a swing at you, Joel doesn't just brush it off. He, like, reacts to it, and then they can combo their attacks and stuff. But once they start a swing at you, they hit you so quickly. The little brick bash that we do is, like, the fastest animation in the game. And again, the bottle would have just broken it, so we needed that brick. And then we also needed to throw that brick at that clicker, because that swing we did up the stairs... Ellie, you coming? All right. Look how they run. They're going to have terrible posture when they're older, like me. Ugh.
Here, give me a boost. Get through that window.
Yeah, that swing we did at that clicker made it so the stalkers behind us kind of gave up a little bit.
Make it fast.
All right. Let me see how they spawn in, then I'll talk about what's going on here. All right, we get 1 clicker. Okay, now freeze. All right. I'll explain that trick later, but right here is an infinite spawn of infected. Once you kill 1, they're just going to keep spawning in. So we just want to hold them at bay, keep them at bay. Oh, that's bad. Well, that's not bad. The reason that's not bad is because this next area, it doesn't really matter how much health you have. Whether you have full health or whether you have no health, a shot from the guy with the sniper rifle here is going to kill you instantly no matter what because it's grounded. All right, now that clicker freeze. That was, how do I explain that one? Let's see. From the moment they hop down, but before Joel says, get ready, if you swing at a clicker and it starts flailing his arms all around his body, it will freeze when it, like, regains control of itself. You can't do that to runners, only clickers.
How you doing, little man?
So we use that to our advantage. Now, that part of the game always needs to have 5 infected in the area.
You made it out.
Oh, yes, Ellie, after you two. You going to kill infected if there are some in our way?
Let's find a way around.
Companions always want to be in front of you, and then when there's trouble ahead, it's like, Joel, you do everything. We'll just sit back here.
As usual, right?
It's frustrating. But yeah, we didn't want to kill any of the infected in that room right away because the game just would have replaced them right away. So we killed them all, like, really late, and then by the time the game replaced them, the door was open. It was basically just run out the clock. Okay, Joel has, like, that much health left. You could tell because he's, like, grabbing his side. He's hurt. Also, the color on my controller is red, and that's not good. But if everything goes right here, he shouldn't get hit at all. There's a strat you can do by going in the front entrance of this house, but I'm going to go in the back entrance.
Be careful.
So yeah, even if you have full health, 1 hit by that guy and you're dead.
So, where was it you were going?
What I'm more concerned about is the enemies on the bottom floor. Now, we want to get alerted here, which we did.
Get him, boy!
That's good. Good. Okay, they've shot at us like once so far. Slow leap into the left window. Come on. Perfect. Beautiful. Whew. All right. That can be stressful. That's stressful with full health, let alone none. All of that movement was very specific. Do a jogging leap over this thing, start sprinting here. It was all specifically timed. All right. This isn't just target practice. You have to kill them at a certain time in a certain order. Beautiful. I timed this kill so this guy would get shot before he takes cover. Headshot. Which you actually don't want to get. I was delaying killing that guy because it makes it so, not that one less enemy spawns, but all the enemies spawn in a lot faster. Like if I had killed this guy right away, I would have killed the last enemy like right now. So it saved like 6 seconds by killing them in that order at that time. All right. Here is another like infinite spawn of enemies until Henry or Ellie kills one. And then there's only like one enemy after that. So we're going to time our kills so there's as few enemies spawned in as possible. So they'll shoot at this guy, but they won't kill him. And then when this guy starts firing, they'll kill this guy, and then no more spawn in. God, no respect for his comrades. All right, that was perfect. Again, there's a faster strat going through the front door, but I actually didn't have enough rifle ammo to be able to do that. And it's a marathon, so I'll play it safe. So yeah, despite how fast I was getting in this building, there was actually something faster I could have done.
Oh, that was intense.
You all right, Sam?
Also, I don't like Henry, really, for this one reason. Listen to what he has to say. Listen to his dialogue right here. Wait for it.
All right. We did it.
He's been saying that ever since he joined us. What have you seen him do? Nothing. I did everything. And as soon as I get a plus sign, just get rid of one of them. Henry's the kind of guy who would, like, if you're working on a school project, he would do nothing and then put his name on the final product.
Let's move.
We did it, guys. All right, this right here is target practice. You don't have to kill them. But it's kind of fun. Got him. All right. Now, when infected get to around there, it makes the section end. Fire a bullet and it makes the section end just a little bit faster. Good. Dude, if I was playing on PS5 and it wasn't for Slums and Graveyard, I would be on record pace, no doubt.
Means we're close to Jackson City, right?
Show me more in a few minutes.
You ready to see dear old brother?
Yeah. I'm just ready to get there.
Nervous?
All right, unfortunately, there's like 8 minutes of nothing happening here. We finally made it to Tommy. Well, we know where he lives. We don't know like exactly where his location is, but we know he lives here. We're gonna use one of our 2 med kits on that injury right there. It's faster than going off to the left.
Saw the world one way, I saw.
Because at the start of the next encounter, there's a real pesky guy with a rifle.
Kept him busy for a while, but
If he hits you square with full health, you'll have like this much health left. But that damage plus that that fall damage plus the rifle damage will kill you. So
Who's gonna help us?
I only recommend doing that intentional damage thing there if you have a med kit to spare.
Let's just get going.
Now there's some speed tech here. Like you need to place the pallet that Ellie gets on in a certain way so she'll hop on faster. The differences between her moving as fast as she can and like the slowest as she can is like night and day. There's literally like a 4-second difference. Might be 5. Maybe we want to place it on like the corner.
Step on the fucking pallet.
Like that. That was perfect. And she just steps right on. If I had messed that up, she would have hopped on right about now. We're kind of back to the intro kind of thing where nothing's really happening, but we got to focus on all the little things.
Oh, give it a spin.
We're doing good on supplies. Again, I mentioned once we picked up that thing of alcohol when we first met up with Henry, that was the last thing of crafting ingredients we needed to pick up.
Hey, go get the other one.
And we've been picking up parts. We're going to upgrade Joel's right holster once we get into the dam here. And
Teamwork.
my chat would never forgive me if I didn't high-five her here. You can choose to not high-five her because it's faster, but I'd never hear the end of it.
I know, I am too. Let's get past this place, then we can scrounge up some food.
We got a little launch there. All right, the next gun we're going to get is the El Diablo, which is a one-hit kill on unarmored enemies,
Friendly. We've been dealing with raids. A lot of bandits inside.
no matter what.
What the hell are you doing here? Thought I'd find
Very valuable. We don't use it much because there's not a lot of ammo for it, but when we do, it's pretty effective. Look, it's Tommy. We haven't seen him since, like, the 8-minute mark.
No way.
That's Maria. It's Tommy's wife.
We got a whole lot of them.
Hey, Tommy, give me a hand with this.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
What do I need here? I use this time to swap out. We need 3 rifle. Again, we needed like a certain amount of ammo heading into certain areas. I don't know if I mentioned that. We needed 3 rifle bullets entering here. Now, it's interesting. We had 2, but when you get finished with the sniper part,
There.
Hey, thanks, Tommy.
No sweat.
when you get finished with the sniper part, you leave with an extra rifle bullet. He doesn't take the gun, but maybe he takes a bullet with him. I don't know.
Earl? Why are you
And that's about it.
supposed to head back this morning?
Still waiting on Halva and the rest of the boys to relieve him.
There's a neat little trick here. One of my moderators found it.
Don't be friendly.
Maria, in the past, her name's Maria, she used to stand at this door and do nothing for 10 seconds, but we found out if you stand in her way, and then when she stops moving, if you get out of her way, she goes for the door, like, instantly. It doesn't save time compared to, like, the fastest she can move,
Yeah, go ahead.
but it prevents, like, 10 seconds from being lost sometimes.
It's my turn anyway. I'll go.
I'll come with you.
Sometimes, like, finding strats that prevent time loss can be just as important as strats that
Boy, some space.
cut a little bit of time.
I'm sending Tommy over. Stand by.
Yeah, I should talk about the story here, I guess.
Time then try to get the turbine back on.
I wasn't as peppy when I said that. Ugh, story. All right. Let's see. Well, we got Ellie to Tommy. We're kind of expecting, Joel's kind of expecting to drop Ellie off with Tommy, and then Tommy will take her the rest of the way to the Fireflies. First of all, Tommy doesn't want to do that. Second of all, Ellie and Joel have grown close. Almost like father-daughter kind of thing. Just like the photo that Tommy gave Joel just there. So then Joel eventually changes his mind, and then Joel, this is a bit later, but Joel eventually follows through with it all and takes Ellie to the Fireflies himself.
Yeah.
but not before she runs off, but that happens a little bit later. Again, just the Cliff Notes version of it all. I haven't played this game for its story in like a year. No, wait. I think June of 2020 was the last time I played this game for its story. And then before that, I think like 2014 or something. Okay, so it turns out we can't run, so we're going to crouch walk. If you go down here, Tommy will actually walk faster because you're otherwise forced to just walk behind him.
What do you do for protection?
Now this is where we're going to use our parts. Now we're going to go throughout this building in a bit of a weird way, but it's for speed's sake. There's a lot of things. They're trying to turn a generator on to power their city. So here we go. This whole part is on a timer. So we're going to get this training manual, which you don't have to get, but it will probably help you in the tunnel. We're going to crouch walk to there and then turn around. That will make it so these guys that are turning on the generator will go through with it. If you don't hit that mark, they'll just wait until you hit that mark eventually. We're going to get the El Diablo and then upgrade our right holster. We should have 76 parts. And we do. We only needed 75, but they don't really come in batches of 1. And we upgraded our right holster, so we have 2 guns in our right holster now. And that's it for parts. So no more bombs, no more parts, no more supplements. All right, what do I need leaving here? Oh my, I almost forgot to heal. Woohoo. That was close. I would have died in 1 hit.
Pretty impressive.
All right, now Tommy will stop on the stairs for a second and then start right up again. All right, make sure everything's reloaded. Yep. All right, we're good. This fight can be annoying. And here we go. Damn fight. We're being raided. Ooh. Is he standing? Oh, this might hurt. I think we're good. Yes, we're good. Okay. That guy was kind of in our way. All right, here's 5 enemies here. If we throw a Molotov at just the right time, they all died and the door closes instantly. And as a result, Tommy will bloop, just teleport to you. There's the alcohol that we can sometimes miss, I mentioned earlier. And then we rifle, pistol, El Diablo in the foot. Beautiful. Now make sure everything's reloaded. There's a bunch of ammo out here, especially the El Diablo. The pistol we can reload later, and I will reload it later. All right, skip some dialogue right there. That was a perfect fight. A little slow getting out of the first room, but the rest was perfect. All 5 enemies had to die from that Molotov for that strat to work. If even one lives through it, it can soft lock the area. It can make it so Tommy doesn't teleport to you. It could be bad. All right, so now Ellie took a horse and rode off, so we're just going after her. If I have time, we are going to revisit this area a little bit later, because I want to show you guys something. That'll be for later, though. If everything goes right, we only have like 52 minutes left in the run. Maybe less. Less would be better. All right, ranch fight. We're going to use a Molotov, some rifle ammo, and some El Diablo ammo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies I think we killed. There we go. It was important that we reloaded everything before we lost control of Joel there. So here we go.
Goddamn many.
All right, now here's the important strat right here. So the order that we killed those enemies...
Come on, back to the horses.
Hold on, there's one little trick here. If you're in your backpack when the horses spawn in, they just kind of teleport to you. All right, that strat right there, a little hard to explain. But basically, there were supposed to be 2 extra enemies that spawned in. But because of the way I killed him, which was a blind Molotov throw, and
Tracks keep going this way.
killing the last enemy, like right after the Molotov hit the guy, the game prevented the last 2 enemies from spawning in. Again, they had to be killed in a certain order and in a certain way. I knew that Molotov, this is the funny thing about this game with Molotovs, I knew that Molotov was going to kill that one enemy hiding behind a fence because he has armor. And for whatever reason, armored enemies are more flammable.
That's our horse. She's got to be there.
It's a weird thing, but
Area looks clear.
yeah. Armored enemies are more flammable in this game. So if you just throw it in his general area, it'll kill him.
Ellie?
It'll be cooked well done.
Ellie?
All right, I would explain to you what happens in this cutscene I'm about to skip, but...
Check down there.
Oh, I missed. I was going to say, because we do this area very quickly, but...
Check down there.
Oh my god, come on. Has to be a pistol headshot. There we go.
We got this here.
It's a pretty strat when it works. When it doesn't work, it just looks embarrassing. Ah, well. And then restart encounter as soon as you hear the horse. And we're where we think the fireflies are. We're trying to find them now. But yeah, if you're wondering why that area looked a little sketchy right there, it's because for the longest time we used to use a Molotov there. We used to do a one-hit kill body shot on one guy, then a one-hit kill body shot on the other guy, and then we would throw a Molotov at the 3 enemies downstairs and it would kill them. But then we found the strat with the Molotov in the forest, so we had to use only guns in that building. And as you can see, it can be a little finicky.
Fireflies.
I reckon it takes quite a crew to run that operation.
It's all right, as long as it works eventually.
Stay.
All right. Last Molotov we use is right here. There's a locked gate with a generator that we need to turn on, but it's surrounded by 6 runners.
Running off. I'll be right back.
Let me reload all my guns. So we're going to gather them into a ball. And that should have killed all of them, and it did. Very nice. 6 charred runners. So what I did was I sprinted in there, and I just kind of moved back and forth and like slowly moved backwards as well. And that kind of forced them. I don't need shotgun ammo. We have at least 1 pistol. Yeah, okay. And that forced them kind of into like a ball. And then 1 Molotov throw just took care of them all. And that's it. All we have left are smoke bombs.
Get him.
What about you? What do you want to do?
Yeah, that restart encounter. The gate's open, and we're on the horse. Let's see. Next area. I was just talking about having ammo in either the shotgun or the pistol. I swapped weapons out at the end of the ranch, at the end of that building that I messed up.
Yeah, a whole mess of them.
That's because we need an empty gun. This is a weird strat to explain, but the next area we're going to be running past a bunch of clickers and a bloater. But it's an area you can go past without having to kill anyone. Now, they're usually gathered towards like the exit to the area. So what we want to do is alert them like instantly, so we draw them away from the exit. However, firing a bullet creates some inconsistent AI patterns. Firing an empty gun doesn't alert them, and neither does sprinting right away. But a combination of firing an empty gun and sprinting right away is enough to get alerted right away. And there's also a clicker in our way, but he's consistent. So there's the empty gun, we sprint. There's the clicker, we kill him. Get an arrow and a bottle as we're leaving. And here they come. But as long as the square prompt disappears, we're fine. Of all the strats in this run, that one, historically for me personally, has been the most consistent. There's some outliers where sometimes after I kill that one clicker, there's another clicker in that narrow hallway. But besides that, that works almost every time.
More infected, I'm fine.
Here, come open the gate.
But it relies on having an empty gun. Now for Science Lab, we need either a brick or a bottle. We need a smoke bomb, and we need 3 revolver bullets. That's it. The most important of those is 3 revolver bullets. But we also need 1 of something else. That something else is going to be either a pistol or a shotgun shell. So it works out well that we would either have a shotgun or a pistol. So we can use that empty gun strat and then have something, just 1 other bullet of something else that isn't a one-hit kill gun. We're going to use that bullet to fire at a fire extinguisher, which acts as like a smoke bomb so you don't get shot right away. Because the enemies in this Science Lab, they have shorties, they have shotguns, they have rifles, they have El Diablos, they have a lot of one-hit kill stuff. 2 different guys have an axe. Which we could have picked up, but it doesn't benefit us in this run. Yeah, we think the Fireflies might be in the Science Lab, so that's where we're going. Well, I guess I should mention it now. They get to a spot in the Science Lab. The Fireflies used to be there, but they're not anymore. And then there's a message of a dead body. The guy recorded his final message on a recorder that Joel plays and says they've gone back to... oh, God, where is it? St. Mary's Hospital. In Salt Lake City? I think that's where.
All right, we're inside. Come on, kiddo, give me your hand.
I only play this game for a living. You'd think I should know.
We'll stick around.
All right, we don't need to pick anything up. We just need to get to where we're going. We don't even need 3. I'll keep it as a failsafe, but...
Yoo-hoo! Fireflies!
we really need 3 here and then 1 in here. And this, we're going to end a run with an extra med kit.
Keep it down until we figure out what's going on.
I told you, if you don't take that fall damage when we got to the dam, this run so far has not needed a med kit. That's what I told you. If a run is perfect, we don't use one. We use one as part of a strategy to save 4 seconds, but it can easily just not be done.
Good, right?
Find out where they went.
Okay, now if Ellie gets a plus sign behind us, we have to restart encounter because, well, I mentioned it earlier, companions get plus signs, and if the plus sign fills in, they die and it's a game over. But the other thing to it, plus signs will fill in faster on higher difficulties. So on grounded, it fills in too quickly for us to hit triangle at the door on the bottom. And even if there's an enemy right next to us, as long as we hit triangle on the bottom floor, we're safe. But we're going to do something that will lower the chances of her getting a plus sign, and that strat is right here. Instead of running straight, run to the right here, and that should push her back enough so she doesn't. Throw a bottle at him. Let's hear what happens behind us. Oh. Good thing I had an extra bullet. All right, smoke bomb on the bottom floor. 3 enemies. That's why 3 revolver bullets were important. Enemy in my way. Just get out of my way. We're in the smoke, so we're safe. And we're good. Now, is the game going to glitch out on me? Nope. All right. That science lab was not bad. Oh, that's got to hurt. It'll be fine. Yeah, that would have gone a little smoother if I didn't miss the fire extinguisher that was less than a foot in front of me. But worked fine. But that's why having 3 revolver bullets was really important there. Those 3 guys lined up in a way where I had to kill them right away. Now there you have to kill the guy on the right. You can let the guy on the left live, but if you... Ellie will kill him, but if you kill him, he falls back faster. What else about that section? Yeah, the fire extinguisher, again, acts as a smoke bomb. If you didn't shoot the fire extinguisher, you just would have been lit up. And he took some damage from the Molotov I threw at those runners, so one hit from anything probably would have killed him. Yeah, as long as you're in that smoke, they can't hurt you. Yeah, all right. What's going on here? Joel has an ouchie. It did look painful. A little. All right, this guy. If you, like, pop out and shoot at him, he'll shoot the desk, and then he gets, like, blown back a little bit. You can't die here. But what you got to do is as soon as Ellie shoots him once, you just got to shoot his body.
You want to do this the hard way?
Now, if I had shot him earlier, it wouldn't have counted. So I had to wait like an extra half a second before I fired for it to count. All right, the rest of the area is just staggering out of here. There's no more enemies that you can kill. You just got to follow the path. Next area is Winter, my favorite chapter. It's pretty brutal, but it's no matter what, it's my favorite chapter. Yeah. Story-wise, Joel is obviously mortally wounded here, and Ellie has to like look after him for a few months. There's a whole DLC that goes over what she did to like heal him up a little bit. But then she spends the next like 3 months like just hunting food for him, and then eventually finding medicine for him. It's faster to aim at them, and then he falls over earlier. Yeah, Winter starts off with chasing a deer that we hunt down. And normally you have to chase it around this big open area, but you can actually hit it really early and it counts. Then as a result, you can get really close to it for a second hit. It's a lot faster than just chasing it around. I don't know if any of the audio guys listening right now, could you turn up the volume in my headset a little bit? Because there's some audio cues I need to hit to like actually pull this trick off. I think that's better. So there's like a snap of a twig, and then that's when I fire. So I need to listen carefully. It's a difficult trick to hit. It's really fun being on record pace and then missing this shot. All right, here we go. So now we play as Ellie. All right, I got the shadows of the tree. Let's see.
Where'd you go? There he is.
Oh, thank you. Got him. Yep. As soon as I heard the snap of the twig, that's when the deer spawns in. And you use the shadows of the tree to know where to aim, and then you just fire. So it hits him, and that counts. So then you can get really close to him a second time. You have to delay your shot a little bit. And there you go. You can't be too far in front of him, otherwise he runs away. But that was perfect. And then you just follow him to where he eventually just collapses and dies. All right, now we're going to meet a man called David. And he will trade us the deer for some medicine. In this case, penicillin. Which means Joel's alive. Yay.
What is this place?
But then we are attacked by infected, and we need to defend ourselves.
This place is not creepy at all.
Now, if I was on PlayStation 5, this scene would load in right away. But because it's PlayStation 4 unpatched, it's going to take 13 seconds. That's where the time save really comes in, as well as a couple in other places. All right, that's David, or as we like to call him, Creepy Nathan Drake. Same voice actor.
Cover the windows.
Okay. Fight.
Every shot counts.
I've done this before.
Here, on the rifle. You weren't kidding. You're a better shot with that thing than I am. Give me a hand.
This one was supposed to drop 2 rifle. I should do this over, but
Help me with this.
I'll try and do this fight the best I can. That's the worst luck I could have gotten. All right, I'm just gonna do the best with what I can do here. I need to do, like, I'm out 2 whole rifle bullets, so.
Maybe they followed you and your friend.
Doesn't matter. Stuck.
Whoa. Wait, did he not drop anything? Wait, I'm sorry, this isn't right. All right, I'm just gonna... That was the worst fight I've ever seen. Dude, I'm out 3 rifle bullets. Whatever, I have a good amount of arrows. Okay, that only cost me time. Ammo-wise, I'm fine. I was so lucky that none of the arrows I fired broke. Adapt. When you're running this game, you have to adapt to what the game gives you. Okay. That one broke, that's all right. Having 5 here is okay. And I wanted to end the fight with no rifle ammo because then he gives you 3.
Okay.
And then just knife past him here. Okay, I was supposed to get a drop of 2 from one of the runners outside, and then that clicker was supposed to drop 1, and I didn't get any of those. That's a lot to have to react to. That's the marathon luck. If any of you at home ever get into a speedrunning marathon, just expect everything to go wrong. But we're fine. I actually have more arrows than like sometimes when I get the appropriate drops, all my arrows just break. So we're good.
Here you are.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't explain anything with that area, but all right here, I'm preventing a glitch from happening. When you're separated from David briefly right there, if you if you sprint right away, which is what I did, a clicker can glitch its way into the area that I was just in down below. By firing that empty gun, he, hold on. All right, we're fine. It prevented that from happening. All right, normally there's not a clicker there. But we're fine. We're fine. Okay. Now for the last part of this fight. You thought the first part was difficult. This is even worse. All right. There's a lot of audio cues here I need to hit.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I needed to hit triangle on that dead person right there. Otherwise, this fight would start like 10 seconds later. It had to be specifically timed. All right, and now
See anything?
part 2 of this fight. Nail bomb, timed very specifically, and then a Molotov throw right after, and then they're all dead. And that dialogue, you hear that? They're on the roof. Shows up like as early as it possibly can. All right, kill 1. That's a tough shot, so glad I hit that. All right, kill him. Oh, I need to, oh, God. All right. Yeah, Ellie's... Oh, this is bad. David, help me out. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. All right. Sloppy winter so far, but we're okay. We're okay. Any drops? No. All right, one of these guys needs to drop something. Good job, David. All right, they both dropped one. That's good. About time something goes my way. Don't. Okay. Okay, now to end the fight. Bloater. Right there. He's going to spawn in any second. Bloater. If you shoot him in the foot with Ellie's rifle, he dies. Okay, that was very, very sloppy, but we made it through. Oh my God. Okay, what messed me up in that fight was I killed the clicker by stabbing it in the neck as soon as it hopped down. Then I turn around and David's already wrestling with another runner. That runner's supposed to like latch onto David like 3 seconds later. That happened really early, so I couldn't run in and kill it. And then all the other enemies were spawned in by the time I got into position. But recovered. The main strat for like the middle of that area is you, after you kill the last enemy like through the roof, you have to pick up a brick or a bottle right after, and that will spawn in the next wave right away. Oh man, I wanted that area to go smooth, but nothing about that was smooth. We got through though, and our ammo amount is good. And Ellie gets all of her health back here. Okay, what's going on here story-wise? Yeah, it turns out the people at the science lab were David's men, and they were actually after Ellie and Joel. David let Ellie live because he wanted her to lead them back to Joel. So they got close, but now she's like diverting them away. And David did give her the medicine, so Joel is in the process of getting better. So Ellie's just kind of leading them away and then eventually making it back. Ouch. All right, and this next area we have to take quietly. And it's extra important that Ellie doesn't take any damage from this point forward, because when Ellie wakes up in the next time you play as her, whatever damage you take here carries over. So it's very important she doesn't get hurt here. And so we want to do this quietly but efficiently.
How many of our guys were killed?
Oh, that might not work now. All right. Yeah, you can't miss a shot there. That was my fault. It's kind of hard to hit that first guy, because he could either be walking towards you or like really far, like completely perpendicular to you.
How many of our guys were killed?
Look at that. That's a much easier shot. They couldn't have been in two more different places right there. Oh, this is bad. All right, that guy in the purple that I killed right there, he wasn't supposed to see his buddy die. So, yeah, this is going to hurt. I don't think she's making it through here. Yeah. That's like the unluckiest you can get. Oh, well. The run was going too well. It had to average itself out somewhere. This, however, is not usually a place I lose a run, so it's very strange. I didn't do anything wrong there. Like, I did everything right. I just got...
How many of our guys were killed?
Here, watch. So these two enemies up here, one is supposed to go towards that broken deck, and another we just kill as soon as he hops down. Here, look. This guy is walking over here, and here, I'll take that arrow. What happened the time before, they were both walking towards those stairs right there. So he saw him die, which is an instant alert. That, yeah, there's no backup to that. You just, you have to accept it. Yeah, the first time I did mess up, I missed a shot. Oh, well. This still puts us on pace for like that probably wasted a minute combined, but we're probably on pace for like a 251 or something, because the rest of the run was really good. Okay. All right, last up here is the lodge, which is a weird area. There's 3 enemies in there, and you have to kill all 3 to get out of there. One's hanging out in front of a window, and another is, the other 2 are towards the exit, but they move about in random ways. Doesn't matter if you get alerted there or not. Once you're inside, you're safe. Okay. And here's the 2 enemies. One right here, and this next guy should be right here. Oh, headshot. There he is. All right, good lodge at least. It's weird. I don't usually mess that area up. Okay. Good timing for Joel to wake up, because we learned that David and his men are cannibals. So we just want to get the hell out of here. And Joel's all better. All right, there's a lot of RNG with the rest of Winter here, both as Ellie and as Joel.
Ellie!
All right, as soon as the flashlight starts to flicker, they're going to open the gate there. This is an area where grounded actually really helps this encounter because of the one-hit kill. If it were any other difficulty, you'd have to hit them twice with something. All right, this guy can sometimes be in a weird position. Let's see. Take cover behind there. Ah, something good went. Something went right for me. If he takes cover behind there, you can just run past. And you're fine. If he doesn't take cover behind that crate, you have to kill him because then he's very hostile. All right, this is the part I was talking about. If Ellie had taken any damage in that previous area, it would get carried over into here. But the third try that I got it, she didn't take any damage, so we're okay there. All right. These strats look risky, but they're designed to work. Stop sprinting, start sprinting. Otherwise you get alerted by this guy. All right, there's a guy to our left. If you sprint under this log here and then hug the right side, you get alerted, he'll shoot at you, but he'll miss. He always misses. That'll empty the enemies out of this room. And as long as you go way left here, you're fine. Yeah, normally there's like 2 enemies guarding the exit here. But because we got alerted in that very specific way, it made them like switch areas, basically. All right, on PS4, this area bugs out. But if we do a restart encounter when we get in here, it fixes the area. So this fight will start normally. We're gonna fight David. Because now he wants us dead. All right, we gotta stab him in the back 3 times.
Nowhere to go.
And on grounded, that can be difficult. All right, there's one. That one can sometimes mess up because grounded, their senses are a lot better. All right, this fight is like 99% consistent. So just get him here. And then for the third kill, you just sprint around here and then run behind him and mash triangle, and that's it. You don't have to do the third encounter. You can just get him right there. All right, last stretch is Joel. If this goes well, I can say I did 1 section in winter perfectly. All right. If all goes well, we only use 1 revolver. Stop sprinting. Stop. Climb through, get alerted, but because we got alerted in a very specific way, he should miss this next shot, which he did. Kill him. These 2 enemies should just leave me alone. And there we go. All right. All right, you have to swing something there because you otherwise just walk through there very slowly. All right, that's it for winter. You got to crawl to a machete and then destroy David's face with it, but that's in a cutscene. For here, the only gameplay is just to crawl forward. But yeah, that winter was very, very strange. Coal mine, we got through, but it was very weird. The part after, right after the horse dies, that... Yeah, I'm still kind of stuck on that one. The first one I messed up. The second time, RNG got me. I didn't mess anything up. Third time was good. Third time was the charm. So yeah, whatever. What are we on pace for? That was a big hiccup in our pace there.
I knew you had heart.
Maybe a 252.
You know, it's okay to give up. Ain't no shame in it.
That's the thing with this speed run. You know, mistakes don't really cost you a few seconds here, a few seconds there. They cost you minutes.
Your style, is it?
So if you're trying for a record or a new PB and your time's really good, one mistake, it's all over. Then you got to do all that slow intro all over again if you do multiple runs a day.
You think you know me? Huh? Let me tell you something. You have no idea.
As satisfying as it would be to watch Ellie destroy David's face, speedrun. Gotta skip it. Okay, so they finally get out of his town, and then they're heading to St. Mary's Hospital, which a recorder said they would. That's where they would be. Whew, almost done.
Did you hear me?
No. What?
Look. Hospital. This is where we get off. Let's go. Feel that breeze, huh? I'll tell you, on a day like this.
Let's see, what else is there to mention? Yeah, my favorite thing about this difficulty in this category is everything gets used to its fullest potential. Wait, hold on. I want to show off a visual glitch. Watch what happens to his shotgun. He's going to take it out of his right pocket. Watch this. It's supposed to be over his left shoulder. But when he starts putting it away, we go right, left on the D-pad. He'll take it out of his right pocket. Sorry, I'm easily entertained by this game. I'll do it one more time.
Maybe we cut through here, huh?
Whoa, nice little boost there.
Maybe we could use that ladder.
All right, all that's left, like encounter-wise, is the tunnel, which has God knows how many runners, clickers, and 3 bloaters, actually.
Ellie? Ladder.
But all we use to get by is 1 bullet, 1 bottle, and a smoke bomb. That's assuming it works. It's basically, it's an area you don't have to kill everybody. Oh, I need to swap out. There. I'll get rid of this. We get more ammo later, so it's okay. But yeah, that half a thing of alcohol that I picked up in the hotel. Yeah, that's the only thing we have left.
Ellie!
Well, I showed you that back at Henry's.
Ellie!
Everything got used.
You gotta see this.
What is it?
It's a giraffe. Spoiler. Sorry, but we skip it. I'm no fun.
Are you kidding me?
More spots you gotta time, like crouches and stuff.
Come on, hurry up.
This part of the game's fun when you think you're on pace for a new personal best. It's just some downtime and you know there's only 2 more areas left to go. Same kind of restart encounter as the beginning of Pittsburgh.
Look, I know you mean well, but there's no halfway with this. Go wherever you want.
All right, but let's see. Let me talk about the tunnel encounter. Like I said, a bunch of runners, clickers, and bloaters. And we only use 1 bullet, 1 smoke bomb, and 1 bottle. The bullet we use to fire a bullet right away,
This place takes me
that makes it so we're not alerted, but we're able to sprint. The bottle gets rid of a runner that's like always in our way. And then the smoke bomb all the enemies walk into it, and that makes it so the alert phase ends like really quickly.
Whole damn world seems
And by that point, they lose sight of us, and we just boost Ellie up, and she helps us over the obstacle we have to get over.
I can't imagine losing someone you love like that. Losing everything that we know. I'm sorry, Jordan.
All right, I need. The only thing you still need is 2 arrows. All right, we're almost done.
No.
What do you mean?
All right, here we go. Restart encounter for consistency. For whatever reason, if you do this normally, it takes forever for them to spawn in. So you do a restart encounter right away. Now we climb this, so Ellie also climbs this, so she doesn't get plus signed. So we're getting chased, things thrown at us. Just keep going. Bottle for this guy. Should be good here. And they all go into the smoke.
Here, let me put you up there.
Triangle prompts right there. That could not have gone any better. Now, we're not out of the woods yet. Sometimes you can get alerted as soon as you regain control of Joel, but it looks like we're good. Just be quiet.
Down below.
And then you can go loud. And then restart encounter on the other side for 2 reasons. One, you get all your stuff back. Just like the high school, just like I mentioned you could do in science lab as well. But more just like the high school. We get our stuff back. But another reason is because when we sprint towards that crate to climb up and get out of there, the bloater has really, really good aim. And he can actually throw that stuff at you over, like that thing we climbed over. Like, I think it's a truck or something. That thing right there. He can throw it over that. And if you run into it and die on the other side, you can die from it very quickly ungrounded. And if you do die, you get your stuff back anyway. So it's just one of those things. It's a little bug with the grounded difficulty. All right, that restart encounter puts Ellie right back near us. And if you had 0 pistol bullets, that restart encounter will give you 5. I don't know why, but it does. All right, I love this trick. So, where do I start with this one? If you boost Ellie up normally, that clicker will attack her, and you have to kill it, obviously. If you alert that clicker, you can't boost Ellie up normally. Do I have any shorty ammo? Oh, I don't. That's not good. Hospital might be ugly. I normally rely on a shorty shell. Oh well. Anyway, if you alert the clicker, you can't boost Ellie over until that clicker's dead. But what I did was I alerted it, and the triangle prompt remains there for about an extra half a second. So I shoot it, and then turn the camera upwards really quickly and mash triangle. And I'm able to boost her over with the clicker active on the other side. Now, this isn't just for show. Basically, all this does is it allows us to sprint the rest of the way. Because all of this right here would otherwise be done in very slow climbing and jogging animations. But we're doing it in like alerted sprinting animations instead. All right, and then we got to do one more thing here with Mr. Clicker.
You know,
Looky there. I'm on it.
Get Ellie across, and then we can sprint the rest of the way if we can get this clicker into this room. So let's take a look, see where he is. He's right there. That's perfect RNG. All right. So we could use a bottle, but for whatever reason, the clicker reacts a lot more to a bow hitting a wall. So this clicker is now going to be in this room for as long as we're here. And this clicker's a little broken, obviously. He's not, like, reacting to us, because he's not really supposed to be. You're not supposed to be on the other side of that gate with the clicker active. But all we're doing is using him to sprint the rest of the way. That's all we're doing. We do that at a lot of different points throughout the run. Got perfect RNG in this area. Very nice. All right, and we can sprint, because again, this would otherwise just be a very slow jog. Okay, we're supposed to jump from like crate to crate here, but this is faster.
Okay, come on, jump.
You're gonna catch me?
I got you. See? You didn't even need me.
Let's get the hell off this thing.
Speed things up a little bit with a restart and counter there. And now chaos ensues. We never make it up that stairwell. Okay, I should talk about story here. Let's see. They get swept away. Ellie almost drowns, but they are at the Fireflies. So they knock Joel unconscious because they don't know who he is, but then they revive both of them. And they tell Joel that Ellie's immunity is because of a mutation, but the only way they can like get a piece of it and create a vaccine is to kill her. So Joel isn't having any of that and goes Rambo mode in the hospital. Although we're not going to go Rambo mode. We are going to actually go quietly. Fast, but quietly. If everything goes right, we use, let's see, an arrow, a bottle, smoke bomb, and 1 bullet. Yeah. And only 1 enemy dies. Here we go. This area is a nightmare on Grounded for a casual playthrough. Here we go. All right, I like to do this part right here with a shotgun shell, so this might not look pretty. Oh, nice shot. That's really tough. The spread of the shotgun makes that a lot easier. It's just like the science lab. When you're inside the smoke, they're not going to hurt you. And these guys have a new gun. They have assault rifles. They have all the upgraded weapons. I don't think anybody here has a pistol. These enemies are too good for that. They have assault rifle, shotgun. They all have armor and helmets. It's just brutal. All right, one more stretch. Now we wanted to get alerted there. Whoa, okay. That guy regained his composure after the smoke bomb. A little early than I would have liked, but that was a perfect hospital. And that's pretty much it. The timer stops in like 3 minutes when we get to Jackson again.
What are you doing?
I'm sure that will have no repercussions on Joel's life whatsoever. Positive.
Shit.
But we got Ellie. Yay. And it's just like the intro.
You out of here, girl.
You just gotta keep moving. There, in that room back there, there's actually like an eye test thing that says like, oh, I forget what it says, but it's like, don't stop, keep moving, you're almost there, or something like that. Kind of funny.
I said get back! Stop!
All right, yeah, and then from here, we bring Ellie back to Tommy's, and they're gonna reside there. But not after he lies to her about what happens and then kills Marlene. You should really play this game. Like I said, it's only $10 right now on the PlayStation Store. Or free with the PlayStation Plus collection if if you're one of the few people who have a PS5. Okay, now after this, the reason the estimate is 3 hours and 10 minutes is because I'm going to do an any percent run of the single-player DLC called Left Behind. However, to do that, I need to patch the game. The glitch I'm going to do at the beginning doesn't work unpatched, so we take a little time to patch the game. Looks like this will be a mid 252. That's okay. What were the big mistakes? Just reminiscing here. Slums was pretty bad. Graveyard was bad. Coal mine, and then the part where the horse dies, that was bad. That's it. That's the thing. My record's 2 hours, 48 minutes, and 58 seconds. So it looks like this is going to be a little over 3 minutes off. There were only a few mistakes. All right, time's coming up as soon as it cuts to black. So right about, you ready? And now. I think it was 2:52:12. That's not bad. That's a personal best for a marathon environment, I think. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so real quick, I need an internet connection. I don't know what the Wi-Fi is here. Let's just see. Yeah, I have no idea. Can I get a little help or something? Maybe this one? Let's go with this one. The glitch I'm going to do doesn't work unless it's patched, and I was running unpatched. So how you guys doing? Oh, all right, I think we got something.
Hi, sorry.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The stuff. Did the other one work?
I don't know. Let's see. Something's supposed to be downloading. No, I don't think I'm connected.
Okay. So I wasn't sure. Free one had some issues. So
Probably.
successful, failed.
Success. Yeah.
Yeah, we can log you into the other one.
This is why it's 310 estimate, everyone.
It applies for setup time. I'm pretty sure it's the Xanadu one, the one that's locked.
Which one?
Xanadu?
Xanadu. Okay.
Yeah. So MJC.
They can see this. That's okay, right?
Sure. Esports, pretty sure. So esports.
What?
Yep. So esports, and that should be it. I'm pretty sure. If If it's not, then I will yell at Milo.
This will be worth it. Maybe. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. All right, it worked, yeah.
All right, cool.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Hold on. No, it didn't work. Try again. Just resume it. There we go. All right, we'll get there. So maybe a little history with the patches. Before it was patch 1.07 that came out a long time ago, and that like really messed up the AI. It was the PS4 Pro accommodation patch. And ever since then, we were allowed to do runs unpatched, and that's what we did, because it just unfavorably really messed up the AI. I'll close the app. Trust me, if you're doing a grounded run, you don't want to do it on the latest patch. The game still runs fine unpatched, and I have a video about all like the differences and stuff. But all right, yeah, we're good. All right, latest patch. It's the only way that the glitch in the beginning will work. All right, I don't know if we need a new timer or anything. I don't think so. This is only going to take like, if it goes well, 5.5 minutes. We're still well under estimate, so that's okay. So Left Behind is a single-player DLC. It was a $15 single-player DLC. It's like 2 or 2.5 hours if you play casually. A glitchless speedrun, you can do it in 28 minutes. 28:22 is the record. Any percent, though. A little fast loading times because of the latest patch. And here we go. Let's see how we do. All right, we do have a new timer. Okay, so same deal. 3, 2, 1, go. So this DLC goes over the story of how Ellie got infected and what she did after Joel got impaled and before she was hunting a deer. But it's all going to be skipped. When we go over here, that's if this works. Haven't done this in a while. Over here, and do this. That should be good. So we just glitched out the whole area. And if we make our way over here. All right, it worked. Nice. So there's 6 chapters in this game. We're obviously in chapter 1. And just like that, oh, hold on. We are in chapter 5. Just like that, right there. We still got to make our way to the back of the store. So the game goes back and forth between present day and flashback and everything. So I'm going to predict the future. Everything should spawn in at 1 minute and 7 seconds. Oh, minute 6. All right. Sorry. All right, we got to be over here for when things spawn in on the table. Otherwise, you soft lock the area. And here we go. This part's all RNG.
Get to him. Stitch him up.
Hey, what you guys find out?
Come on, hop down. Uh-oh. Oh my god, I got through, yes. You have no idea how often that cannot work. Okay, so now we're in the final fight. Ellie magically gets stuff to heal Joel. And we got to take out 8 enemies. But instead of taking out 8 enemies, we're just going to do the glitch again. And 8 enemies dead. Now there's another wave of enemies. Another 8 humans and a bunch more infected. If we do the glitch again right away, we soft lock the area. So we need to kill 5, which will spawn in some infected. Oh, he hit me. We're okay, we're okay. Come on, pal, you're right here. There we go, 5 dead, infected, oh no. Do the glitch again. That's it. Little loading screen, that's okay. And we're through.
Better be alive.
And now we have to go through a running segment that will make absolutely no sense to anyone who's never played this game before. Who's that? Where are we? I don't know, but let's just
What about our backpacks?
do what we're supposed to.
Our backpacks. The gate, help me lift it. Here. All right, lift.
You can skip the whole game. It's a nice break from those 3-hour speed runs.
Hurry. Okay, go.
I don't know what time this is going to be.
I'm right behind you. Keep running.
But for real, this part of the story goes over how Ellie and her friend Riley, at the end of the campaign, Ellie tells Joel about how she got bitten. And she says she was with her friend Riley. This DLC basically goes over how that all happened, as well as providing information about how Joel lived through an impalement.
Up the stairs. The scaffolding. That's our way out.
Yeah, it's easy to lose time here by like bonking into something or someone.
That's it. Oh, they're behind us too. This way. Go, 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 go. They're getting closer. Ellie. I'm good. Keep going. There's an open window. Come on. We're almost out.
I almost fell off there.
Reach
All
up.
right, I got ahead of her. That's good. Maybe below a 530? That'd be nice. Oh, yeah. Another lie from Naughty Dog. You don't have to hit anything. All right, time is coming up. Right about, get ready, and now. Lovely. Nice. That's a sub 530. The record is, am I allowed to show off a couple things? I want to show off just a few things. It won't take very long. I think we're still a bit underestimate. I want to show off to anyone who might want to pick this up as a speed run, something new that was found, because the record is 5 minutes and 7 seconds. That's because there was a new glitch found recently. It involves a 10 sensitivity. I'm not going to do a whole nother run. I'm just going to show off the glitch. The reason I didn't do it in that run is because it's only beneficial on PlayStation 5. The loading times for this glitch specifically are much better on PS5, and it saves 10 seconds over what I just did if it was perfect, if I had a perfect run. So it looks like this. Sensitivity needs to be all the way up to 10, get a brick, and then I think right about here. Nope, wait for it. All right, it must not be lined up right. It's kind of hard to see. Let's try there. Nope. You basically get in through this way by unloading the area. No, try right here. I haven't practiced this in a while. Let me try again. I think right about there. There we go. Right there. Pause it for a little while. And then walk backwards, and we're in the store. See that? Fall damage doesn't matter. But yeah. And then if you get by the stuff where it spawns in on the table, and you do that on PS5, it's 10 seconds faster than what I just did. And I'd like to end this run with my all-time favorite glitch. It might take a few tries. Real quick. My viewers know what's coming. Give me to right here. Yeah. The latest patch makes all the loading times a lot faster. So we should be good here. I can do a few tries of this. Okay. So if you mash triangle very quickly... I didn't get it. I gotta try again. Just give me a few tries to get it. I'll get it. It'll be worth it. You gotta mash very quickly.
Go back inside. Help the others clean the place up.
There we go. Let's put it back in 60 FPS. I changed the frame rate just so I can get more inputs in. So you're obviously not supposed to do this. So if you mash triangle fast enough, you can get off the horse. So Tommy's on horseback, Joel's running cross country. He got that cardio going, man. But I'm gonna put photo mode on, because it's way better with photo mode. Some of you may not be able to sleep well after this, but it'll be worth it. This will be in your nightmares later. Just gotta run a little bit. I really wonder what Tommy's thinking right now. It's like, all right, we'll just take one horse. So eventually the game recognizes that something's a little off here. So to make up for it, the game's going to turn Joel into a pretzel. It's much easier if you swap from bottle to Molotov. But it gets better. If you time photo mode, you can get some pretty crazy looking... I recommend making wallpapers with this, or avatars. And the more you look at it, the creepier it gets. But it's just a lot funnier to time it, like, in between. I like beer too, Joel, but seems a little too happy. And there's one option here, you can like zoom in even further. I'm not gonna scar you any further. But that's really that's really all I wanted to show. I think it was worth it. But yes, that is all. Thank you, GSA, for letting me run Last of Us. And yeah, look forward to the rest of the marathon. Everyone.